So what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to do a video for Coinbase. Market hit our ultimate TP price maybe a week or so into our price prediction. Very good to see that when that happens. But now we're going to update you all as to what is about to pop off in the market for Coinbase. So welcome everyone to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe as always, so that you guys may stay in tune with what we are predicting here on the platform. So now let's break down what happened into the market in Coinbase on our last video. You guys can see it right here. We were bullish in the market in Coinbase back on September 30th, 2025. We was telling you all then to look for the market to go higher. It did a fantastic job of doing that because it broke this first sell pocket, which is always good to see, because we did point that as an area to where sellers could impact the buyers, but they didn't do that. But they definitely did it up here in this next sell pocket, which we had our ultimate TP price. The market in Coinbase ran up here to the pocket. Sellers became more active and definitely dumped the price on October the 10th. Isn't that crazy? So let's get rid of that. We will get rid of this sell pocket and create a new one, because price did actually break up above it on October the 10th with that increased volatility. That is our newest area, and we're going to create a new sell pocket that you guys probably can see right around here. And we're going to delete this buy pocket and that one. So now this is the newest area of where we have shown where we've seen the influx of where buyers and sellers to be. Okay, so if we're going to look for Coinbase to go higher, we already got our targets marked. If we look for Coinbase to go down, we already got our targets marked to where we think sellers will have problems of pushing the price any lower. We already got our targets right here. Okay, so now let's look at this on the 2. Okay, so the 2 is not that bullish. It is bullish, but it's not all that bullish, and I'm going to show you the reason why. Because here on this 2-day price bar, we did see price go higher, right? But look at where the price closed. It closed off of the highs of the bar, then immediately the next 2 days it went immediately right back down. Now, this could be a beginning stage of buyers coming in the market. Why? Because you always want to pay attention to where things begin and stop, right? So this 2-day price bar in Coinbase stopped right where we got this buy pocket. Isn't that crazy? So that could indicate that buyers have entered the market again. And the next thing that you can tell that occurred is that look at where the market closed on that 2-day price bar. It closed up off of the lows, which means that buyers did come into the market. So we got tomorrow. If this market in Coinbase closes higher than the prior 2 days, then yes, that will even give us more confirmation that buyers are in the market in Coinbase, and we may want to predict prices to go up. Look at this on the 3. Same thing here on the 3. This is a spot where we've seen buyers approach originally back in September. Here it is October, and we're still seeing that those buyers may still be here. Also, price of the bars closing off of the lows. So yes, we're noticing buyers are here in the market in Coinbase. We still have 20 hours and 23 minutes left. So if this bar doesn't look the way that it looks as of this recording, then we need to have another conversation, i.e. if this price comes all the way down and close on the bottom of the bar. And that would mean that those buyers didn't have enough momentum, juice, adrenaline, whatever you want to call it, to keep these sellers at bay. Okay, here it is on the 4. Same thing on the 4. Coinbase on the 5. Here it is on the weekly chart so far. Take a look at this on the 2 weeks. Okay, now you guys can begin to see that maybe this weakness is still bleeding over into this current 2-week price bar. Again, everything's going to depend on how this market trades tomorrow. Okay, so that will give us a lot of information on who is participating in the market tomorrow, Is more buyers participating, or are the sellers? Because if we see either or more determined, that would definitely give us a big hint as to which direction we need to look for price to go. Because right here on the 2 weeks, the market doesn't look bullish to me. Here it is on the 3. It don't look bullish to me at all on the 3 neither. So, okay, so we might need to split this up. Okay, first half, i.e. the first day to maybe 3 to 4 days, the market in Coinbase could potentially go higher. But as you transition over to the weekly, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you definitely can see that this stock is weak. Now, I'm doing this prediction before the close of many of these price bars. So you can see right here on the 3 weeks, we still got 20 hours and 21 minutes, but this is definitely weak. Here it is on the 5. Coinbase on the monthly chart. Now, at the end of next week, if the market in Coinbase looks the way that this monthly price bar looks right now, yes, price is due to go lower. That would be our prediction. With no fear, no FUD, no FOMO. We're just paying attention to what everyone else has already done. And it looked like these sellers on the monthly chart may not be finished. They may want to continue to dump Coinbase in the market. So, like I told you, we're going to split this in half. If I did Coinbase predictions and forecasts and videos on a day-to-day basis, I may potentially be looking for the stock to go up. But since I only do this video every so often, I'm going to look for the stock to go down. I know you guys don't like to hear that. Everybody just thinks stocks goes up into perpetuity, and that is not the case. This is the reason why I'm looking for the market in the short term to go up. You just see it better than on the daily chart. You can see where these buyers came in, because off of this sell signal and all this high volume, the market in Coinbase still went up. So if anything, they're at least popping up their heads. And I'm talking about the buyers. They're popping up, telling us that they were willing to buy Coinbase around 310. However, they still didn't make it to the high of this sell bar on the 11-hour chart. Here it is on the 3. See that right there? It tells you the market gives us precisely what we want. We just fail to pay attention. That's the sell pocket right there. It might even be up here in Coinbase on the 3-hour, and I definitely see one up here. So there's definitely some sellers ready to light this market up if price goes up into these pockets. I'm just saying. You can see it right there. So even though we've seen price in Coinbase lift a little bit, these buyers may not know that we got other sellers just lurking in the background, ready to pounce on whoever is trying to buy the stock up in these areas. I'm just being the newscaster. Here it is on the 1-hour chart. You can see for today, like something happened when Coinbase closed today, and it shouldn't come as no surprise. I am showing you in a relatively easy way to determine who is playing the game and who is winning. Look at this. You can't tell me that right here at 12 p.m. that Coinbase was able to hit this pocket of selling, right? Then at 1 o'clock, price just stood there. And then at 2, it completely collapsed. Wait, hold on. How could you know that? What? Well, because that area right here was the first inclination that sellers were here. It was the sellers who initially started this 1-hour bar that ran it all the way down. They had more to sell, obviously, because the market came back to their point and they released more of their positions and sold more. That is how this game works. This is how you're able to tell who's the big fish and who's the small fish. So whoever is selling Coinbase at $328 is a big fish, because they initiated this selling on October 22nd. Price came back on October 23rd and it still went down. Okay. So right now. Is there an opportunity for price to go up? Yes. But for me, that's only on a short-term basis. So I'm going to play this on the long term. We're going to predict Coinbase is going to go down in the long term. Now, our long term here means the weekly charts, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5, a month, that time frame. Okay. I'm not saying 6 years. I'm not saying 10. I'm not saying 30 years. We don't do those type of predictions here. So let's go. Let's go ahead and drop this on the chart. We're going to look for the market to go down in Coinbase. Okay. And we're going to target. You guys remember what I told you? Where I got our targets right here. First target is this first buy pocket at the bottom. It is 6.09% there. Our next target is going to be at this middle buy pocket, 291 to $289, 10.5% move down there. Third target is going to be around 278 on the bottom, 13.93% there. Now, these pockets only resemble areas. Okay, price may hit the top of the box, or it may go straight through. We don't know. That's why we give you the areas, just to kind of pinpoint where we're looking for price to go. Okay, so that is it. We'll see how much momentum the sellers have. Like, they may only take it to this first buy pocket, which is cool, because we already explained that as to why that could be the case, because more buyers could be determined in this pocket than there are people willing to buy in this pocket. We don't know. So many things is so fluid in the market that it's hard to just pinpoint what is the cause as to why price went so far down or so far high. It's impossible, because we got too many people with interest in these markets from day to day. That's why these volume bars is a massive clue on who's actually participating. When you see volume bars so low, like this one, it tells you that the big fish wasn't really playing that day. But when you see volume this high, then big players is playing. Okay, just like what happened on October the 10th. Volume is higher than the other volume bars around it. Big players was playing. So if you take this one day in isolation and you look at it and compare it to everything else around it, you can say, dang, those big players were sellers. Majority of the big players who played on October the 10th were sellers. And the reason why you can give that as a definitive answer is because the price went down. Only big fish can alter and pivot prices. One retail investor cannot alter or pinpoint a price. It takes an immense amount of volume to make these things happen. So that's why when you look at high volume on charts, that is more than likely a point to where a pivot occurs, right? So look at this bar. So you see that volume bar right there? July 18, 2025. That was the high before the market pivoted and went down. So guess what? Big buyers, the big fish, were sellers during that time period. I mean, the chart gives us enough information as it is to at least distinguish where's the highest probability of where price is headed. And for most of us, that's all that we need to know. We don't know who's behind. We don't need to know who is behind all of these volumes and trades. That won't do us any good. We just need to know where they're trying to take the price. So that is it. I am done. Make sure you guys maintain profit. And as always, trade different.